Mr. J. I have an upper respiratory infection, so I don't have a voice, but I've had it for over a week, and I've been waiting to record my presentation because I don't have a voice, and I know this is the final, and I'm sorry if you can't hear me or understand me, but I know I had to record it anyway, so I figured it was either this or have my mom read it, so I just figured I'd do it myself. And if you want me to redo it another way, or when my voice comes back, I totally will. I just wanted to let you know that I'm not trying to do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna whisper really loudly. Sorry. The world of teaching in my eyes. This is my initial philosophy of teaching. I'm an elementary education major. What is teaching to me? Being a teacher is not just a job. It is something that requires certain characteristics if you want to accomplish goals as a teacher. Teachers shape students' minds and therefore their educations. Without teachers, the world would be illiterate and ignorant. The teachers teach life lessons, not just facts of things. Being a teacher to me means having the future in your classroom. Everything you do has the possibility to change someone's life. My role as a teacher. I want to be the kind of teacher who grows relationships with my students. Looking back at my midterm assignment, I realized just how much my past teachers really shaped my education and my life. I aspire to be the teacher who my students think about when they do assignments like this in their future. I know that learning is the goal in the classroom, but throughout this semester reading Ayers, it has become clear how important building relationships and communication is. I plan to take everything I have learned about positive teaching into my career. The role as a student. When looking at students themselves, they're all unique and have different experiences in life and school. Therefore, their roles as a student is going to be different. Ultimately, their goal is to achieve skills and gain knowledge that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. Looking at the role of the student in comparison to the role of the teacher go hand in hand. They reflect off of each other. In the future, I want my students to be able to retain my teaching and know that I'm someone that they can trust at school. Students need someone who has authority in their lives that they can come to outside of their parents. Life as a teacher in another country. I plan on moving to South Korea to teach English. I'm not exactly sure what grade or age I'll be teaching there, but regardless, I will be teaching English. Considering my goals as a teacher is to gain relationships through communication with my students to better improve their education, I think that what I will be teaching is perfect for that. A lot of English teachers in South Korea don't speak any Korean, as it is not required to teach English there. However, I do. I have been learning Korean for about a year, and I'm still continuing to learn it every day. I can use my bilingual skills to connect with my Korean students, unlike their other English teachers there. I think it is important when teaching in another country to learn the culture and language to show your students that you care about them and their background. Therefore, they will respect you and want to learn more from you. Connecting my teaching to my students' worlds. I find that the subject for teaching another language is one that deeply goes into students' outside lives. For instance, when I took Spanish in high school, that was knowledge that I can use whenever I want to, not just when it's relative to the conversation. Learning English in Korea is very common, and a lot of the residents already know English to a certain level. Therefore, in my teaching students, I will be helping them learn a skill that they can use to relate to people all over the world. The influences that affected my decision to be a teacher. Over the course of my educational experiences, I've already discussed Miss Sally Shipley, who has shaped who I am as a person. She taught me how to live as a good person and the importance of it. She is the model I will always look to in my future as teaching. I can without a doubt say that the way she taught is the most ideal way to hold a classroom. Miss Shipley and I are still in contact, and I always considered her as my school mom, somebody that I could always go to with absolutely anything, which is what I aspire to be for my students as well. In my personal experiences on the teaching side, rather than as the student, I've only had this semester, and one time in high school I helped with first grade for a day. This semester I got to observe a 5th grade math science class as well as preschool for another class. They were definitely different experiences. The 5th grade class gave me a better perspective on what my future as a teacher will be like. There was a time in that class where there was a substitute, and she was very lost on the instructions from the teacher. The students weren't doing what she told them to do, and it frustrated her. As the observer, it wasn't necessarily my place to step in, but she asked me to. The class had already met me a few times, so they were comfortable with me. I told them what was expected of them, and that if they needed help, they could ask me or the substitute. They got right to work and came to me with any questions they had. The substitute kept telling me how thankful she was that I was there to help. This moment showed me how certain times can get frustrating, especially if you're new to teaching or just to a certain class in general. It also showed me how different students act when someone they know is teaching. What's next for me as a teacher? In 5 years, I will be fairly new to teaching. I will have been teaching for about 2 to 3 years. I'm hoping to already be in Korea by then. At this point in my career, I just hope to be adjusting to teaching and working on better tactics for my teaching skills. In 10 years, I will have been teaching for a while, and I've had the hang of transitioning things like throughout the school years, different classroom setups, etc. In 20 years, I hope to have watched many of my early students use what I have taught them in their adult lives. It will be nice but crazy to see students grow and know that I have impacted a part of their lives. Continued. What's next for me as I continue to explore the profession of teaching? I know that there will be bumps in the road, but the good thing is that we're all humans and we continue to learn new things every day. I want to learn from my students as much as they learn from me. I am worried about moving to Korea to teach because it is a whole different world, but it will be an experience I know I'll never forget. There are so many things that can be scary about being a teacher, but this class and my field placement has really helped me look further into my future as an educator. There will always be more positive things that outweigh my fears, which excites me to be a teacher. Again, I'm sorry that my voice sounds like this. If you want me to re-record it, I know this is the final, so I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. But if you want me to, or I can get my mom to read it, or someone else to read it for me, but I will redo it if you want me to. I know this is probably really annoying to listen to, but hopefully my voice will, I started antibiotics yesterday, so hopefully my voice will come back within the next couple days. Thank you.